Another Leviathan, this time of the air. The 42-ton Pan American flying boat Yankee Clipper makes aerial history. This mighty aircraft sets out on its first transatlantic flight with 21 people aboard. Luxurious cabins, lounges and private compartments will accommodate 74. Yankee Clipper has already accomplished more than half of her projected flight from American to Lisbon, Marseille and Southampton. Happy landings to the Yankee Clipper.
In 1927, Juan Trippe, a former naval aviator turned aviation entrepreneur, bought control of Pan American Airways, which flew mail and cargo between Key West and Havana. Pan Am was small, but Trippe's ambition was not: to bridge the ocean with metal wings and connect the United States to the world by air. At the time, no commercial aircraft capable of Trippe's ambition existed, and there were only a handful of airports with runways long enough to operate them if they had. The solution was the flying boat, which could connect any town or city adjacent to open water. Hiring the celebrated pilot Charles Lindbergh as Pan Am's technical advisor, Trippe contracted 3 of America's leading aircraft manufacturers to design and build his great Skyships, which he called Clippers, after the fastest vessels of the Age of Sail.
Six minutes to go, then off to South America. Step on it, driver. That airport is still a mile away. Uh-oh, and this plane waits for nobody. Right in the nick of time. These passengers just won't get ready until the last minute, and there's nothing that can be done about it. Takeoff time for the Caribbean West Coast Flyer. Motors roar and the Clipper ship express trains down the choppy water of the bay. A sweep up into the air and its nose points south, flying down to Rio at a lot of miles per hour.
When a giant 4-motor, 26-ton flying boat takes off from Alameda, California, in an attempt to fly 8,600 miles across the Pacific Ocean to China, the world watches breathlessly. Every paper in the land headlines the news. Radio stations keep 100 million listeners advised of the plane's progress.
In less than a decade, with just 25 aircraft of 4 types, Trippe spanned the Caribbean, Atlantic, and Pacific, and in the process created the world's first intercontinental airline, and created the model and template for all airlines to come.
On time, the Clipper, across the Pacific Ocean from the Orient. The ships that are making new history in man's conquest of the air and setting new records for dependability. These airliners are now in regular scheduled flights between Manila in the Philippine Islands and San Francisco, carrying passengers, mail, and freight. With stops at Honolulu, Midway, Wake, and Guam, they travel a third of the way around the world in 60 hours flying time.
Pan Am's clippers shrank the world, putting almost any place on Earth within a week's reach by air. Offering only first-class service, and with the price of a transoceanic ticket equal to about a third of the average American's annual income, this was hardly air travel for the masses. But this only added to the allure and mystique, and by World War II, Pan Am's clippers had so imprinted themselves upon the world's culture and imagination that today, nearly a century after the end of their age, they still stand as symbols and touchstones of the 1930s. But the era of the skyships died just as it was being born, and World War II killed it. An invaluable strategic resource, Pan Am's clippers were taken over by the military and flew millions of miles in service to the nation. 3 were lost to accidents, and those which survived the war had been made obsolete by it. Rapid advances in technology created larger, faster, and longer-ranged aircraft, and the war spurred construction of thousands of airports capable of operating them. Pan Am charged into the new age with new planes, new routes, and new prosperity. But Trippe's flying boats were all lost, retired, sold, or scrapped by 1951. Today, none remain. Towards the end of their days, Claire Booth Luce, a playwright, United States Congresswoman and ambassador to Italy, returned to the U.S. on a Pan Am Boeing 314 and offered a prophecy that stands well as an epitaph for Pan Am's skyships. Years from now, we will look back upon Pan American's flying boats as the most glamorous, romantic air travel in the world.